Maladjusted Misfits.
Hi, I'm Adam with the U.
Hi, I'm Joe with an E.
We're the misanthropic weirdos. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Joe.
We're the Maladjusted Misfits.
And this is the one where we talk about friends. Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
It's episode 10.
10 of season 2.
Yep,
Are you excited?
I am. I like season 2. It's fun.
Huh?
It's fun.
It's fun.
How was your week?
Good.
Yeah.
Did you make any mistakes last week that we needed to correct? I can't remember.
Oh, nice.
No.
No,
No.
I did not.
Now, see, I can't remember. It's Michael M., right?
It is.
Okay.
That's the real name.
Okay.
So what are we doing this week?
We're doing the one with Russ.
Russ. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's our IMDb plot?
Monica gets back together with Fun Bobby and realizes why he's always so upbeat. Rachel starts dating a guy called Russ who bears an uncanny resemblance to Ross.
So uncanny.
It's uncanny.
Ed Wood. We have a new director this week.
New director.
Yeah.
Do we have a bell for that or?
I don't know.
Okay.
You should add something.
Yeah.
Thomas Schlamme? I don't know how to say it.
Sure. I'm going to go with
Thomas
yes.
S. So Thomas has been directing since 1983.
Ooh.
He directed 2 episodes of Friends, this one and the one next week.
Wow. Just back to back, huh?
Yeah, the one with the lesbian wedding and this one. He also directed some ABC after-school specials.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember those?
I do.
Amazing.
Aw.
One of the specials he directed is Can a Guy Say No?
Can a guy say no?
Which is kind of apropos for this
Yeah.
episode. He also directed The Wonder Years and So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Aw,
I know.
Heed.
We love that movie.
Yeah.
And about 16 episodes of Mad About You.
Aw.
Busy director guy.
Yeah.
Our episode writer is Ira Ungerleider, returning writer. He's the guy that looks like Seth Rogen on his
Right.
IMDb page. He wrote the one with the breast milk and this one in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
He has an acting credit for Friends.
Oh.
Do you know what episode and who he played? It's not until season 3, so I'll make you wait.
You're going to make us wait?
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me
No.
who it is?
Nope.
Boo.
When was our original air date?
Okay, our original air date was January 4th, 1996.
Oh, we're in 96 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Joe,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an extended quote from the #1 movie for that week.
Okay.
And it's a crazy quote that I say to you all the time.
Okay.
But allow me to finish before telling the Misfits the title.
Okay, I'm going to try.
I want the future to be unknown. I want to become a whole person again. I want this to be the present. I want to stay here, in this time, with you.
12 monkeys!
12 monkeys!
You say that all the time. It's out of the blue, no reason. Just starts quoting that.
I just look at her and say that. She's all serious, and sometimes I'll start tearing up.
Good movie. Are you ready for some trivia?
I am ready for some trivia.
All right. So Russ is played by Snarro,
Yes.
who's an alias that Schwimmer often uses.
Often.
Yeah, and he says that it's also a tribute to a friend of his. I looked everywhere, could not find who the friend was, but he uses that name as a alias, and it's for a friend. And at the time of the episode release, there was actually a question as to whether it was Schwimmer or not. Like, people
Right.
were debating whether or not it was actually him
Well,
or a
it's-
guy that just looked like him.
Yeah, it's just a guy. It's just a guy that kind of resembles him, right?
No, it's
Snarro. It's a different person.
actually Schwimmer.
You almost had me.
All right. I'm going to keep going. In this episode, Joey begins his acting job on Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
Jennifer Aniston's real-life dad, John Aniston, has been starring on the actual Days of Our Lives since 1984.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And I looked it up. It's still going. Days of Our Lives
Really?
is still going.
I had no idea.
I know. This is also the first episode where we find Monica's drink, Scotch on the Rocks with a twist.
Yes, I did notice that when she said it.
That's so funny. And then when Ross and Russ are doing the crossword puzzle with Chandler, they disagree on whether the correct word is card shark, Russ, or card sharp, Ross. So I looked it up.
Oh.
They are actually both correct terms.
What?
Yeah. Card sharp is traditionally and mainly used in British English and giving rise to the term card shark, which is most commonly used in American English.
Right, because they started using that because most Americans were just saying it wrong.
Yeah.
And then it just became a thing on its own.
That's right.
On its own.
Azam.
On its own. See how I said that wrong? That's going to become a thing.
Wazam. And this was just funny, but I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's interesting. With 14 letters and 17 characters, this is the shortest episode title of the entire series.
Oh.
Yeah, the one with Russ. That's it.
The one with Russ.
So what were your reactions to...
Well, so this one is dicey. It's got a couple of subjects like alcoholism and the casting couch issues.
Yeah.
And dating doppelgangers. I don't know. I don't want to say those things don't bother me.
Sure.
But my personal view is that any subject is fine for comedy or being made fun of in the right context and or setting.
Sure.
And in a sitcom, I think everything goes, you know. So I'm fine with it within the borders of a sitcom, you know. But I think the performances and the writing carries me through what could be more dicier stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's funny, even if they do rely a bit too heavily on the Snarro doing a good Schwimmer imitation.
That is David Schwimmer.
I know you're going to push that theory.
It's not a theory.
I've been following some websites. And and they say that Snarro's an actual person.
Is they in quotes, they say. All right, anyhow.
What did you think? What was your reaction?
I think the episode is funny. I, like you, like the episode and know that it's controversial now with all the things, you know.
Right.
But the lines and the acting are funny, and it clips along. It goes pretty quickly. You know, it's not like it doesn't drag out and you don't feel like, oh my God.
Right.
But overall, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, favorite line. You stole mine, but
I stole yours.
That's okay. It's okay because it's hilarious, and somebody would have said it no matter what.
And it's a line that we actually say a lot, even though it's kind of a weird line.
Yes, but I picked when Monica's talking about Ross and Russ, and she goes, "They're different as night and later that night."
That is funny. There's a lot of fun lines in this one.
Yeah. What was yours?
Mine is a fun Bobby line. But apparently there are no hardware stores open past midnight in the village.
We do say that a lot.
Again, just like the 12 Monkeys thing, for no reason.
Yeah, just out of the blue.
Out of the blue, we'll just say that.
All right, favorite moment. I like when we open on Joey making all the sauce. Jars everywhere. He's stress cooking. I just really think that's a cute moment.
Yes, it is. I think it's funny that it's the only time he ever stress cooks.
Yeah, well, he stress cooks when his dad's having an affair, too, remember? Well, he's not stress cooking. He's just actually
cooking. Yeah, he's just cooking.
All right, never mind. You're right. He doesn't
do it all the time, and they never... I mean, Chandler acknowledges it, but he's never like, oh, you're fucking stress cooking.
Right.
I'm going to go with the same scene.
Okay.
Had my favorite moment in it is when Chandler sticks his hand in the cookie jar, and it's covered in marinara sauce.
You would be so mad if you stuck your hand in a cookie jar.
I'm sorry I borrowed your gloves.
All right, favorite outfits.
Yes.
So both of ours are in the beginning, in the opening.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Rachel's little black overall dress with her white sweater, and then she has white knee-high socks on. Too cute.
Yes. I don't know what it is with girls in socks. Why is that so cute?
I don't know.
When guys pull their socks up like that, they look foolish.
Yeah.
But when girls do it, it's like,
adorable.
Oh, that's super cute.
I know.
Again, you said this the same scene. I like Phoebe's Mona Lisa dress, and she has little white boots on.
Yep.
It's kind of kooky and fun and 60s. And
I would totally wear that dress. All right. Themes we explored this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Should you give up after 10 years?
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Theme 2. Should you try and change someone? It's a little riskier.
Yeah. Theme 3. Should you date a doppelganger?
Yeah, that's I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Again, my mind goes to Twin Peaks.
Well,
and
my
David
mind...
Lynch stuff.
My mind goes to all the Criminal Minds episodes where the serial killers pick a type.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, that's creepy. I stand out. You know, like it's always blondes with blue eyes or brunettes, you know, and
Right.
I have red hair and they never kill redheads. So.
Well, redheads are always the killers. So if I end up dead.
Everyone knows.
Theme 4. Should you fix up your exes with each other?
I love that ending, and there was a cut scene, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But I do love that ending. I think it's hilarious.
It's cute that they brought her back.
It is. All right, we're going to take a break before we break down the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's my favorite client. So tell me, darling, how was the audition?
Well, I think it went pretty well. I got a call back for Thursday.
Joey, have you ever seen me ecstatic?
Nope.
Well, here it is.
Okay, listen. There's something I wanted to talk to you about. The network casting lady.
Oh, isn't Lori a doll?
Oh, yeah, she's great. But I kind of got the feeling that she was sort of coming on to me. And I would definitely get the part if I would have, if I would have sent a little general in.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm just going to put in a call here and we'll find out what's going on and straighten it out. Yes, Lori, please. Hi, darling. So what about Joey Tribbiani for the part of the cab driver? Isn't he terrific? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, doll, talk to you later. Yeah, you're gonna have to sleep with her.
Do you do this with your female clients too? All right, we're back.
We're back.
All right. So we opened the cold. We open in the cold. The cold open. In the street. It's night. All 6 friends.
Yes.
Joey's leading a midnight expedition to the newspaper stand, and he is excited despite Rachel asking him to slow down because they won't be sold out of papers at 1 o'clock in the morning. But Joey was in a play, and it's his first time being reviewed. Ooh. I don't know if I'd run right out.
No.
Monica says he was amazing as the king, and she was really impressed.
She seems sincere.
Yeah, and they all seem like they enjoyed it.
More than other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never hide it when they're disappointed. So. But Phoebe urges him to wear underwear in the future, as when he sat on his throne, she could see his royal subjects.
And then on the DVD, there was a cut line.
Mm-hmm.
Ross says no one wore underwear back then. I think the critics appreciated the authenticity. And then he turns to Joey and says, nice genitals, by the way.
Ooh.
Thanks, man.
Anyway, and then Joey finds a review, and he reads aloud. The only thing worse than the mindless adolescent direction is Joseph Tribbiani's disturbingly unskilled portrayal of the king. Joey is obviously saddened by that scathing review, and Chandler tries to redirect him, saying, that's just one guy's opinion. Phoebe, read yours.
The only thing worse than the mindless adolescent direction is Joseph
Somebody
Tribbiani's...
with a new one. Chandler just immediately interrupts her and asks if anybody has one from a different paper. Ross, read yours. But Ross says, I don't want to.
And then there's a cut line in the DVD
Yeah.
where Joey grabs the paper and says, the only enjoyable moment is when the king is beheaded and he can speak no more.
Yikes.
Oh,
Poor Joey.
I know.
So then he sits on the curb as his friends try to console him. But Joey is spiraling. And he admits that he's been doing this for 10 years and hasn't gotten anywhere. Ross suggests that he's just paying his dues. But Joey says, no, it's too hard. It's not worth it. I quit. Which the play, I'm assuming, just started. That's why the reviews came out.
Probably.
So he's still got to perform for the play.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to do that many shows. Those off Broadway shows don't do as many.
Okay. But Monica urges Joey to wait. She has a review that'll change his mind. In a mediocre play, Joseph Tribbiani was able to reach brilliant new levels of continued on page 153. Page 153? How dense is that newspaper? I mean, they're usually like J2.
Right. I know.
Anyway, she finally finds the page and goes, sucking.
Her lips say 155. But she says 153. It was part of the trivia, so I just put it in here. So
That's
if you
weird.
watch that scene, instead of saying page 153, she actually says page 155, but her voice says 153.
That's weird.
It is weird.
They must have had an ADR it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because of the newspaper, maybe? Anyway, and then the theme music kicks in.
Yes. All right, so scene 1, Manana and Rachel's. Nice.
I like to throw her all off in the notes sometimes.
Rachel, Phoebe, Chandler, and Joey. So Joey pondered being a veterinarian as a boy, but then he realized he had to put his hands in cows and stuff. But not unless you want to be a farm animal veterinarian. I mean, I'm sure there's no danger of cows getting sick in New York City.
Right. It just makes me think of City Slickers.
There was a cow in New York City in that one. So Ross comes in with his obligatory, hi. As the camera pans over, Monica is suddenly there too.
Yeah.
And he says he had a bad day because at work because the Stegosaurus fell over and trapped a kid.
I would have loved it. If a Stegosaurus skeleton would have fallen over and trapped me as a kid, I would still talk about it. That would be my openers for parties. How amazing would that be?
That's funny. So Roz recognizes the leather jacket on the chair as Fun Bobby's and asks, where is he? I mean, how long has Fun Bobby been wearing that jacket?
Some people have those jackets.
I don't
that they
think
always...
any of my friends could recognize me if I was in a room based on my jacket being on a chair. My laugh maybe, but not my jacket. So anyhow, Fun Bobby comes out of Monica's room and asks Ross if he's been working out. And he's glad to hear he's back with his sister.
No.
I know, isn't that funny? Fun Bobby picks up his glass and asks what did he miss. And they tell him they're trying to cheer up Joey. Fun Bobby offers to pick Joey up. And Joey says no, but he picks him up anyway. And it's so odd the way Joey swings his legs.
Well, he's swinging his legs like a little kid. I mean, I remember when someone picking you up was like a fun thing. Nowadays, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? But I mean, when I was a little kid, you'd be like, yay, somebody's picking me up.
Anyhow, Bobby says he has to go and offers if anyone else needs picked up. And everyone raises their hand except Chandler, who's making the, nah, I'm good face.
No.
He tells them to avert their eyes as he kisses Monica, public displays of affection. And Rachel has to turn Joey and Chandler's heads.
They like watching Monica kiss.
Ew. So Monica says Fun Bobby makes her feel so good, and she thinks it's really going to work this time. With no job, still? Oh, man. And no boyfriend. At least her cup is half full. And then Phoebe says, half full of love. And for their 2-week anniversary, he's taking her to his cousin's cabin for the weekend. Cabin of love.
I don't think Fun Bobby even has a cousin. That's a cabin in the woods joke.
Right? So Rachel points out that they went through a lot of wine. She's holding 3 bottles and picks up 2 more off the table. Everyone adds up the number of glasses they had. 1 + 1 + 2 + 1.
Not 1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
That was from Clue. So somehow they drank 5 bottles of wine, which means that Fun Bobby drank 3 bottles by himself.
I would just be peeing all the time.
Right? They all look towards the door and go, oh. And Joey is a bit or two behind, but then he gets it.
Yeah. I like that it always hits Joey a little late. That's a fun gag that they keep doing.
He's not paying attention. And then he's like, what is everybody doing? Oh.
Right.
So Monica says, so he drank a lot tonight. So Ross points out that he's never not seen him with a drink in his hand. Mm-hmm. And Phoebe agrees and points out how he always starts his stories with, I was so wasted, or we were so bombed, or so I wake up in a dumpster in Connecticut.
It sounds like their friend Gandalf.
So Joey asks if Mon has ever been with him when he wasn't drinking. But she says they just happen to go to a lot of places where you might drink. Mm-hmm. How do you go to a wine tasting without having a drink? Mm-hmm. Or to a club? Or the zoo?
Right. Now, we drink a little bit now. Yeah. I'm still not a big drinker.
No.
But a gummy at the zoo sounds kind of fun.
As long as you don't try and pet those big kitties.
A bear smiling at me.
I just want to pet the kitty.
I do like kitties. Okay, so now we're back in Central Perk. Mm-hmm. Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, and a Fun Bobby. Rachel is waitressing and handing Monica a drink. Monica knows she sucks.
Yeah.
So she asks her beforehand, has this got non-fat milk in it? Because she knows.
Right.
And Rachel's like, just taste it. So Mon does.
No.
Well, it's too late. You already have some. Rachel is so bad that she compensates for blaming the customers.
I think it's funny because I can totally taste the difference in my latte if it's not made with non-fat milk.
Oh. Fun Bobby pulls out a flask and offers to make the coffees Irish. He must have corned beef and potatoes in there, huh? I'm just kidding. Joe is Irish, so I tease her. I know it means he's going to steal the coffee.
Hey.
Not to be too judgmental, but if you're carrying around a flask on a daily basis, you have a problem, right?
Yeah. And then you pointed out the guy in the coffee shop in the background. It's a black guy, and he's like not tall, but he's not thin, so he's kind of round.
Well,
and he's wearing.
I don't know if it's the outfit.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
True. He's wearing overalls and a white long sleeve shirt with buttons on it, and then this crazy hat. We can't tell if it's a conductor's hat or.
He looks like he wants to be a train conductor when he grows up.
But you have to check him out because it's funny.
So look, I mean, the hat is crazy big,
like oversized.
Yeah, and he's got that huge sweater on underneath overalls. It's like,
and guys in overalls isn't like as cute as girls in overalls.
No. Well, I mean, like we talked about with the socks.
Yeah,
girls just look cuter and everything.
Right.
Anywho, the girls all trade looks, and Phoebe yells cake and removes herself from the situation. Rachel also claims cake as an excuse, and Monica confronts Fun about his making of things Irish. But Fun responds that he would make them Belgian, but the waffles are hard to fit into the flask. We had waffles in Belgium. They were some good waffles.
So good. With ice cream.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I'd go back there just for that.
Monica doesn't let the joke sidetrack the conversation. She's worried, and Fun Bobby admits that she's not the first person to say something. And he always made excuses like, I'm a social drinker, or hey, it's Flag Day.
So I had an employee fail a drug test once for a place I worked, you know?
Yeah.
And his excuse was, but it was Father's Day this weekend. It was September.
What?
Father's Day is in June. Yeah.
Oh,
you should know the holiday before you say
it. It was Father's Day, man.
Yeah.
You know how you do coke and heroin on Father's Day? But the impromptu intervention worked better than any intervention ever because Fun Bobby likes that she's worried.
Right? It's so easy because they don't want to dwell on the struggle of alcoholism.
Right.
They just want the comedy.
Right. Which makes sense because
Yes.
it's a sitcom.
It
You know,
is,
just glaze over that.
The heavy stuff.
Right. If you want reality of alcoholism, don't come to Friends.
Right.
So Phoebe returns with cake and asks what's going on. And Fun Bobby declares that he's going to try and quit drinking.
Oh, why? I like that Monica looks at her like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. You're going to make us talk about it? Then the handsome men enter.
Aw.
That's Chandler and Joey. Chandler quizzes them. Guess who's back in show business? Phoebe guesses Lauren Green. And for your kids out there, Lauren Green was not a Crayola crayon color, but was the name of an actor that was in a Western show called Bonanza and the OG version of Battlestar Galactica. He died in 1987.
Oh my gosh.
Which
And
is why...
this is 1996.
Right. Which is why Chandler tells Phoebe no, because he's dead.
Oh no.
Oh no. Chandler confesses the news will sound bittersweet now, but it's Joey, that's who.
Yay.
And Joey tells them that his agent called for an audition for The Days of Our Lives. Everyone cheers. Okay, there's... When I was watching it, I had to pause it because I was like, it looks like... And it was.
Right.
Fun Bobby immediately reaches for the flask that's still on the
Right.
table.
So there's the cut scene on the DVD.
Which I saw later.
Right. So he does lean forward, pick up the flask, and yells, "Cheers to Joey!"
Yeah.
And then he realizes what he did because he had just quit.
Right.
So he hands the flask to Joey and goes, "Here, Joey!" Joey takes the flask and closes it.
Yeah, he just closes it. Phoebe suggests they do a soap opera themed celebration, and Chandler agrees.
Hey, yeah, we could all sleep together, and then one of us could get amnesia. Check out Bobby in the background. He seems totally on board with this idea.
Yeah, sure. He's still a little wasted. Phoebe then asks Rach what time she's done because they're all going to do something tonight. And Rachel tells her that she's done now, but she has plans. And Monica gasps.
You have other friends?
But that isn't quite it. She has a date. And they all question this.
What?
With a man?
There's a cut line where Rachel says, "No, with a crouton." And then Rachel says, "What is so weird about me having a date?" And Chandler goes, "With a crouton?" And Joey says, "What about Ross?"
Are you still mad about the list? But she claims no, she isn't mad. She isn't anything. Whatever she felt is gone. And they're going to have to get used to the fact that she will not be dating Ross. Then a guy comes into Central Perk. Rachel says this is him. This is Russ. And Russ turns to the group when a familiar but hard to place face says, "Hi," in Ross's signature way. And the friends all look shaken, and the music gets as close to the Twilight Zone theme music as it can get without not having to pay the rights for it. And it's funny because I think, Snarro looks remarkably close to David Schwimmer.
Oh my gosh. It is David Schwimmer. Anyway.
You're not going to get me, I'm telling you.
Fun Bobby even sees the resemblance and he shrinks down on the
Right.
couch. Like he turns around and looks at him and goes, "Oh shit."
Oh no, she's dating a guy that she just wouldn't date.
So then we cut to the Estelle Leonard Talent Agency.
Yay.
Estelle's there, and we open with Estelle on the phone, which I'm going to track because I think every time we go to her office, she's always on the phone.
Well, it's a fun gag to do.
Yeah, it is. But she's claiming that she is not saying the person isn't talented, but with the bird dead and all, there's very little act left.
Oh.
So Joey enters her favorite client. She
Aw.
asks how the audition went. Joey feels it went pretty well, and he got called back for Thursday.
Yes.
And Estelle shows him her ecstatic face, which is very similar to how the kids smile whenever we pay for professional photos.
Yeah, that's why we didn't do that very often.
No. But he brings up that he feels he definitely would get the part if he sent, the little general in.
No.
Estelle says She'll straighten it out with a call. And she pulls up that fantastic cigarette holder,
Oh, I love that thing.
which I hate cigarettes, and I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, but I love this little holder.
Yeah.
It's
You
so
can put
fun.
pencils in there or something.
So Estelle talks to Lori. What about Joey Tribbiani for the part of the cab driver? Okay, doll. Talk to you later. Yeah, you're going to have to sleep with her.
Oh, so fast.
I think it was smart, at least, to make Joey sleeping with someone rather than one of the girls.
Right.
It's still not right, but I
No.
mean, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, and just one note, this is how Schwimmer got his role on Friends. FYI, that's a joke, not a real accusation toward anybody. It was just a joke.
Just a joke. Because we know he didn't even want to be on Friends.
No. So then we're back in Central Perk. Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Chandler, and Fun Bobby. Monica's at the counter, and Rachel asks, what's the matter?
Fun, Bobby.
Rachel's like, what? Isn't he sober? But Mom's like, oh, he's sober. But it turns out Fun Bobby was fun for a reason.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Mon carries coffee over to Bobby. And that's when, quote unquote, Fun Bobby tells his funny story in a very lethargic way about needing to find a hammer, but apparently there were no hardware stores open past midnight in the village.
And then there's a cut line.
Yeah.
So he tells the story.
Yeah.
He's walking around the neighborhood.
Right.
And he's walking. And he's walking. And he's walking. And he's walking.
And then Chandler interrupts him and goes, okay, so you're saying you were walking.
I'm kind of glad he didn't find a hammer past midnight. Like, what the hell was he nailing at midnight?
I can't sleep, so I was going to hang up that picture. Chandler's reaction to the entire story is so fun. Perry does some great work playing off of Vincent.
Ventresca's.
Super monotone performance.
And there's a cut line where Phoebe says, so it's a fact as well as being funny.
Oh, yeah. Then Monica reminds Fun Bobby of an interview, so he splits, and Chandler says, goodbye, ridiculously dull Bobby. Monica is like, OMG. And Phoebe tells her, it's not that bad. It reminds me of when Chandler's got Joey's bracelet on.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, it's not that bad. Phoebe says it's not that bad. It's not like he's making them guess what other seed famously masquerades as a nut.
Brazil nut.
But Monica is like, not that bad. Did you not hear the hammer story? And Phoebe tells her not to get all squinky. Maybe it's the kind of story you had to be there. And Monica's like, I'm gonna be there for the rest of my life. She thinks she can't break up with him because she made him quit drinking. He's dull because of her. Phoebe suggests that he's always been dull. She's just the one that set it free. Then Russ comes in and says hi, and Chandler's like, hi, Ross, and then jumps at the sight of Russ.
Bah! Russ is wearing sunglasses at night.
Is it night?
It's totally dark outside. Like, I rewound it. It's dark outside.
Wow. I just remember thinking, those are weird sunglasses. Rachel tells Russ that she has to finish up, and then they can go. And Russ is like, he'll sit and chat with your friend type people. Snarro is doing a very heavy Ross impersonation here. He is laying it on thick. I mean, he's pretty good. I don't know why he never did anything else after this.
Oh my gosh. It's David Schwimmer.
Phoebe goes on,
Oh.
goes to Rachel and asks if she knows what she's doing.
Waitressing?
Well, yeah, but no. Phoebe asks if Russ reminds her of anyone.
Bob Saget?
R.I.P. Rachel goes to waitress more before Phoebe can finish. Ross comes in, scaring Phoebe, and Ross asks what's wrong. And Monica helps with a lie that Phoebe is upset because she buttered a spider to her toast in the morning. Ugh, that would mess up my whole day, too, I think. Yeah. Ross says, all right, and then sits down. Chandler tells Phoebe it's okay and introduces the pair. Russ.
And then he sits back and watches.
Yeah. They say hi to each other. Russ asks Ross if he's a friend of Rachel's, and then he says that he was more of a date type thing of Rachel's. Ross is like, a date? Oh, you're the date. All right, just to let the Misfits out there know, I did do a dramatic line reading of the Russ and Ross interaction, but it ran to 93 minutes, so Joe told me that was too long for the podcast.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Chandler tells the ladies that this is good, because if they lose Ross, they'll have a spare. Russ finally recognizes Ross as the paleontologist and slaps him with the newspaper. Newspaper slaps Russ back, asking what he does. And he's a periodontist. And Monica says,
See, they're as different as night and later that night.
And then Russ and Ross take a break. Ross goes to the counter to talk with Rachel, and he says he didn't know that they were seeing other people. Okay, so this is delusional, right?
Oh, yeah.
Rachel has made it very clear that they are not together.
I think he thinks that she's going to forgive him and they're just going to pick up where they left off. Like, he doesn't think that she's not into him anymore.
I don't know. She's made it perfectly clear
that she's mad at him.
Several times. I mean, I get that the friends are disappointed.
Right.
Because they're kind of hoping it's going to... But for him to assume that they're in a relationship right now is kind of crazy. So Rachel responds with, "We aren't seeing each other." Okay, so Ross then brags that the curator of moths and other winged things...
I like his little wing imitation.
Mm-hmm. At the museum is drawn to him, and he's been keeping her at bay. But if this is the deal, and Rachel's like, "Yes, this is the fucking deal. I've told you 90 fucking times." And Ross and Rach leave.
Russ and Rach.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Leave together, and Ross is frustrated, much like a moth trapped in a bath.
This is an IT crowd joke, which is a fun British TV show.
Yes.
Yes.
I love the IT crowd.
It is funny.
Ross complains that Rachel is dating, and Chandler asks Ross if he happened to notice who she was dating. But Ross doesn't know what she sees in that goober, and it what takes him like I don't know, hello, a week to get out a sentence? And Chandler replies,
"Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?"
Yeah.
All right, so now we're at Chandler and Joey's. Joey and Chandler are there. Mm-hmm. So we walk in, and Joey is stress-making marinara sauce. And from the looks of the foosball table, the fresh garlic, mushrooms, tomatoes, it would be good.
Mm-hmm. Make some spaghetti or something.
Right. Also, his kitchen, after he makes the homemade sauce, looks like ours when I make homemade sauce.
Or ours when you make anything?
It's splattered everywhere. Chandler says, "Whoa, looks like you didn't get the part, or Italy called and it's hungry." Joey says the part is his if he's willing to sleep with the casting lady. Chandler is excited for him, but also confused that he is upset about sleeping with the casting lady.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
Because it's Joey.
Right.
10 years he's been waiting for his break, and it's Days of Our Lives, which is actually on television since 1965.
Wow.
That's literally when it started.
A lot of Days of Our Lives info coming at me.
And he guesses he could sleep with her, but how can he do that? And Jan quips that he had a pop-up book and tells him everything he needs to know.
A sex pop-up book? I hope it isn't for children.
So I babysat for a family.
Wildly unpopular.
I babysat for this family.
Uh-huh.
And I think the girl was about 6 or 7, and the boy was about 10.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there, but she wanted me to read her a story.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought me this kid's book about sex.
Ew.
She said it was her favorite.
Ew.
And she knew when I tried to skip parts. I was like horrified.
You skipped the part about the clitoris.
I was like, oh my God. I was wondering, I was like, is she manipulative at 6?
Sounds like it.
So Joey said he never slept with anyone for a part. And here's where Chandler sticks his hand in the marinara clown cookie jar.
Yes.
And asks if she's good looking. And yeah, she is. If he met her at the bar, he'd be buying her breakfast.
After having slept with her. Remember when our friend, so we had this duo of friends who would always hang out together.
It's like a female version of Bert and Ernie.
Right. And,
Literally.
and some bartender or somebody asked the ditzy one of the pair, can I buy you breakfast? And she was like, oh yeah, that would be great.
I love breakfast.
Yeah, it's a good thing she had the friend with her, because
Right.
she was like, no, that's not what he's asking you.
She was like the one when we were telling the joke
Yeah.
about the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
And she goes, what kind of cookies were they?
The jokes start off, so there's a girl selling cookies. Ooh, what kind?
She was fun.
Yeah, she was fun.
But I was worried about her a lot.
Still am.
So Chandler says he doesn't see the big deal. He'll have a great job, and he gets to have sex. Throw in a tree and a fat guy, and you've got Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But Joey laments that he would always wonder if he got the part because of his talent or the other talent, his little general,
Aw.
who he promoted after sleeping with Denise DeMarco.
Oh. Okay, so then we're at a restaurant, Monty's, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's Monica and ridiculously dull Bobby. The waiter asks if he can get them something to drink from the bar, and Monica starts to order, but Bobby pouts. And he tells her if she wants a drink, he needs to get used to it, and she says she wouldn't feel right about it, just water.
That poor waiter, such awkwardness. I would feel so awkward being that person.
I bet waiters have to put up with a lot of awkward, weird behavior.
I'm sure they do. I mean, I did a lot of waitressing.
So the waiter leaves, and RDB,
RDB?
ridiculously dull Bobby,
Dull Bobby,
yeah,
okay.
says the light went out in my refrigerator. Here, hang on. So the light went out in my refrigerator. Monica immediately turns and orders a scotch on the rock with a twist. On a coaster?
All right, so we're back to Central Perk.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler, Ross, and Russ.
Yes.
Chandler is reading the crossword puzzle to the guys.
It's funny because there aren't that many scenes in this episode. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes there's like 19 scenes.
Right.
And they're all super short. But this one's spread out, but like I feel like every scene is like a day or two after the preceding scene.
Yeah. It's not the same day. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
So Chandler reads, 11 letters, atomic element 101 ends in EM. Russ answers, dysprosium. Ross scoffs and says, try mendelevium. And Chandler says, weenie number 2 gets it, unless Nights in White Satin was sung by the Duty Blues.
Ew.
And it's funny because the captions spell Knights, Knights. I was like, wait a minute, is that what this song is called?
That would be a weird twist.
So Phoebe and Rachel are at the counter, and Phoebe's trying to point out the similarities. You're dating Ross. No, I'm dating Russ. Russ is Ross. Ross.
Steve Sleeve.
Okay, there's no one named Sleeve. That was almost my favorite line because I love it. But Rachel says she does not see what she sees. So we're back to the weenie guys arguing. Ross says card sharp, not card shark. And I did look it up, and they're both right. But anyway, Russ says he could not be more wrong. You could try, but you would not be successful. And Chandler says he's out before they start pinching and poking each other's eyes. So Russ says he thinks Ross is jealous because he's a real doctor. And he says, you're a doctor of gums. That's the smallest body part. Day 1, floss. Day 2, here's your diploma.
I think it's funny because he's like, oh, he thinks I'm jealous because he got Rachel. For a split second, he's like, why would I be jealous of you? And then he's like, oh, fuck that. No, I'm not jealous of that.
So then they banter a couple, let me finish. No, let me finish. And then Rachel's now behind him watching. And they both turn to her and say, hi.
Hi.
And she says, ew, 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 and runs away. I liked all the ews. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, well, in the other version, she just goes, ew, and it cuts. And then in the cut scene, she goes, ew, 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 and runs away. So then we're at Monica and Rachel's. Monica, Rachel, Phoebe, and Chandler. Rachel is in a chair in her jammies. Jessie will be excited. And she asks if Joey knew what he was going to do. And Chandler says he didn't think even Joey knew. Then he asks Rachel if she would sleep with someone to get a great job.
Who would I have to sleep with?
And she says, who do I have to... Which is the wrong answer. that's the wrong answer. No, don't. Just say no.
Yeah.
And he's like, me. And she's like, why would I have to sleep with you? He goes, it's my game. Do you want the job or not? So, Joe, I think this is just a gross question.
Uh-huh.
I mean, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, again, 30 years ago is a different time.
Right.
But, after Me Too and Weinstein and but if there was $1 million a year dream job, would you sleep with?
Oh, hell no. Mm-mm.
So you could afford an assassin afterward, though.
Still, no.
Right. Because the question itself is disgusting, right?
That's right.
You don't want to have to sleep with anybody. To get you.
No.
So Monica comes in from her bedroom with a bag, and she's packing for her weekend with RDB, and is packing lots of little drinks.
There's a cut line on the DVD where Phoebe asks Monica if her seat can be used as a flotation device.
Because he's got all the little airplane
All the
liquors.
little airplane liquors.
Yeah. And they ask why all the liquor is Bobby drinking again. Nope, it's for her. He's sober, but if she's drunk, she finds his stories about shoelaces much more amusing. And then there's a knock. Knock at the door.
Even his knock is boring.
Monica answers the door, still holding the bag of little liquor bottles. And RDB asks her for a moment alone. And I like that his hair and clothes are all more drab now.
Yeah, his hair is so flat.
Yeah.
Before it was all like flooped
It's
up.
floopy, and he had a bright red shirt on.
Yeah.
And now he's just wearing muted tones. And he looks all sad. And at first, Monica thinks he's going to tell her that he fell off the wagon. But no. It's about her. He thinks Mon might have a drinking problem. And Monica realizes she's holding all this bag of alcohol. And she goes, no, these are for cuts and scrapes. Much like an alcoholic would say.
Oh.
RDB says he isn't strong enough to be in a codependent relationship.
Oh, shoot.
And he hopes they can stay friends. And they hug goodbye. And again, he's like the getting sober. He is right on it. Like,
Yeah, I can't be in a codependent relationship.
I'm breaking up. He just decides and it's over.
It's so sitcom-y, but it's okay.
Monica goes back inside and announces that they broke up. And Chandler and Ross pull out some money and hand it over to Rachel and Phoebe, respectively. Having clearly bet that the relationship would not last.
I love that part. It's so funny.
Yeah. Monica tries to get rid of the little drink bottles, and Chandler takes one.
Sometimes I like to hold stuff like this and pretend I'm a giant.
Joey comes in, and they all ask about the callback, and he tells them it was unbelievable. He walked in there, and she was all over him, but he couldn't do it. And he told her he didn't want to get a part that way. And they all congratulate him and stuff. And wait. And then, after I left her office, she caught up with me by the elevator and offered me an even bigger part.
And so?
Asked Phoebe. You are now looking at Dr. Drake Ramore, neurosurgeon, recurring in at least 4 episodes. Yay for Joey! Clap and cheers all around. All right, I gotta go shower. So gross. Rachel and Phoebe hand back the money they just won to Russ and Chandler.
I love that. It's so funny. All right, now we're at the Tag at Central Perk. It's Russ, Chandler, and Phoebe. So Russ comes in lamenting that Rachel broke up with him because he reminds her of someone. And do they know who? And I love Chandler's surprised shoulder shrug. Like, I have no idea.
No, I don't know.
But Phoebe offers that he looks like Bob Saget. And then she goes, she hates him. And then Julie enters.
Aww.
She says it's weird not being with Ross, but she's doing okay. And she has a bag of his stuff. And then the music swells. And Russ and Julie's eyes meet. And it fades to black. Except on the DVD, there's a really cute cut scene.
Yes.
So Julie says to Russ, have we met before? And Russ says, maybe we could talk about it over some coffee. And Julie announces, I'm sick of coffee. Let's go get some juice.
Aw, juice.
And now the episode is over.
Cut and print.
All right, we're going to take another short break. We'll be right back.
All right. You want to hear something funny?
Oh, God, yes.
There are no hardware stores open past midnight in the village.
That is funny.
I needed to buy a hammer the other night, and I'm out walking, and I'm walking, and I'm walking. I'm walking around the neighborhood, but apparently there are no hardware stores open past midnight in the village.
Say, honey, don't you have to be at your interview now?
Oh, yeah. See you guys.
Bye, ridiculously dull Bobby. All right, we're back.
We're back again.
So what do we learn from this episode?
Joe?
I learned that I don't think Fun Bobby or Ridiculously Fun Bobby are that good looking. I wouldn't date him.
Oh.
And I think Monica was crazy to think she had to spend the rest of her life with him. If he didn't make me laugh, I don't think I could stay with you.
What? Well, good thing I'm a drunk.
Terrible. What did you learn?
I learned that I learned that alcoholism is a hoot and it's easy to quit. If someone is hot, it's okay to sleep with them to get a job.
No.
And if you look enough like someone's ex, then you should be able to get a date pretty easily.
Oh my God, you didn't learn anything in this episode.
I learned I like Snarro.
All right, what are your final thoughts?
I like to think Russ and Julie stayed happily married with 2 kids and lived into their hundreds. Never a fight between them.
Aww.
What are your final thoughts?
What did Joey do with all that marinara sauce?
Got a bunch of garlic bread and started dipping.
Yum. All right, what's our sweater vest tracker?
0.
Oh, no.
I don't even remember how many there were last season now.
All right, what's our rating for this episode?
All right, the IMDb rating for this episode was 7.8 stars out of 10 with 5,800 ratings, which is tied for the lowest rated episode this season.
Oh.
It's tied with last week's, the one with Phoebe's dad, and the one with Phoebe's husband.
Oh.
Russ and Phoebe are taking a hit this season.
So I pulled a not so great review because it was kind of funny.
Okay.
So this person gave it 4 out of 10.
Ooh.
And the title is Another Average Trip to Central Perk.
Wow.
Studio AT16, and they wrote it in April of 2017. Again, as others have said, this isn't the best episode of Friends you'll ever see, and is one of rather relies on the actor playing 2 roles concept for the main source of its comedy. The Joey storyline is certainly the best of the 3, and it's always lovely to see Matt LeBlanc and Matthew Perry bounce off each other.
That is lovely.
The Monica Fun Bobby storyline isn't too bad. There's some good jokes there, and Courtney Cox does well.
Yes.
I think the writers were unsure where they wanted Ross and Rachel to go, and that's why we get these filler episodes along the way. I certainly thought this episode was a bit average, though. It's not my favorite, but I don't skip it.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny. You don't skip any of them.
No, I don't.
Because you love it. That's why we're making a podcast. But
well, people post on the Facebook all the time, which episode do you skip? And people like post all these, I skip all the ones with Emily, I skip all the ones with, and I'm like, I don't skip any of them. It would not be my favorite show if I had to skip episodes.
Right.
All right, so what's coming up next week?
Next week is the one with the lesbian wedding. Ooh. Okay, so Marlo Thomas shows up as Rachel's mom.
Aw.
Carol and Susan tie the knot with Monica catering. And Phoebe gets possessed by a dead old woman.
I think this one's funny, too. All right, are you ready for some maladjusted content?
Maladjusted, yes, I'm ready. What did we do?
What did we do this week?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We watched The Breakfast Club.
We did. Yes, I love The Breakfast Club. Came out in 1985 because we looked it up. And I just love it. I just love all the people in it. And I don't think, and I know this is terrible to say, that any of them did anything that tops The Breakfast Club. I just think it was so good.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good.
It
and
is
if you
good.
haven't seen The Breakfast Club, where have you been? You have to go see it.
Go watch The Breakfast Club.
Go watch The Breakfast Club. I remember when I watched it when it came out, and I was dating this kid in junior high, like dating.
Right.
Quotation mark.
Yeah.
And he came over to my house to watch the movie, and we put it in, and they're swearing right off the bat, right?
Right.
So my dad's sitting in the corner going,
Yeah.
and he is so indignant. He got up and walked away. Like, he couldn't be in the same room. And I was
Right.
just like, oh my God, those words come out of your mouth like every day. You're just mad because teenagers are saying it.
Right. Oh, I don't like it. He did that when I came over.
Yes.
But we did watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, at my house?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. He's like, what are you watching?
Yeah, that wasn't a good start. But yeah, your dad he watches children's movies and Walker, Texas Ranger, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. On repeat. It's crazy.
Yeah, and my dad doesn't watch any children's movies. If it's PG, he's like, no.
Do we watch anything else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
We
either.
had kind of a busy week. We
Yeah.
were doing other things.
Yep.
Kept kind of busy, but we watched The Breakfast Club, and
Yeah.
that was fun.
That was fun. We gave the dogs their haircut.
Yeah. But we don't always have to tell them about that.
Oh, no, but I got them a new collar and harness that has Friends theme on it. So
You didn't get them both.
I know.
Friends theme collar.
I
Who did you get?
I got it for Cooper.
You got for Cooper. Eleanor still has her purple collar on.
Well, purple is good for Eleanor.
And with that, we'll end the program.
Yeah.
Purple is good for Eleanor.
Don't judge me. If you would like your thoughts or reactions regarding future episodes to be shared with the rest of the class, or you just want to reach out and say hey,
Come on, we want to hear from more of you misfits out there. Whoop whoop.
email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com. Rate us and leave positive comments.
And if you have a negative comment, try to leave it in a positive way.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow the links in the show notes. The pages are called The One Where We Talk About Friends.
Joe, are you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always. And weenie number 2 has it.